back on that just a fraction. I mean, at a rate of 10%, maybe you can see that, but 50 to 80%, some of the rates that have been mentioned here. I mean, in many Western countries that would be illegal. It would be seen as usury. It would be seen as.
But that's not the average. Yeah. That's not the average.
Well, in some countries it is, but one way of looking at that stuff is what's their alternative. And the alternative, if it's an 80% in a microfinance institution, if that's fairly close to their cost of capital and their cost, the money lender would probably charge you 20% a day or something like that. So you got to look at what the alternative is, and you got to look at this and put yourself in their situation as opposed to our situation.
Sorry, could
Go ahead.
just add, I think it'd be great for people. I mean, I think it's a great question, and I think it'd be great for you to be able to visit and talk to the leaders of some of these organizations. I think of a person who leads the Pro Mujer organization in Nicaragua, and Gloria Luis is a person who her heart is with the people who are borrowing from her. She's totally dedicated to improving their lives. But she's so dedicated to improving their lives that she wants her organization to grow very, very big, very, very fast. And she cannot raise enough money through donations to do that. And so she wants to make sure that it's a profitable organization and she can reinvest those profits in making it larger. And I'm sure her interest rates would seem high to you today, but I'm sure her interest rates tomorrow will be much, much lower. So, but I can assure you, her heart is completely with the people that she's working with.
Thank you. I want to quickly interject. I think just want to make sure it's 6:30 and the topic you've chosen is panel on poverty and need. There's been some thought put behind this title, and we want to make it annual. We actually have made it annual. We did it last year. We got great support. Thank you so much for this year as well. We want to call it POP, and there's a specific reason why we call it POP, because we want in these 1 hour or few minutes before or after, we want ideas to pop in your mind. We want at least 1 or 2 cases where your mind explodes, and it's okay for the mind to explode, because at that point you won't even care. But we want to make sure that some ideas to change the world, some ideas to actually fight poverty, some ideas to make sure that poverty can be eliminated in our lifetime, pop in your mind. And then you spread those pops that are happening in your mind to your circle of influence. So I hope we are doing that. Microsoft has a culture of precision Q&A, so I'm sure we'll have lots and lots of follow-up questions and answers. I want to ask one final question, just in the interest of time, to the panelists, and then I'm sure panelists will be here for a few minutes afterwards as well, and if time permits, we'll address all other questions as well. We heard, and this is the most difficult question that I keep on asking every time I met all of you together. So I'm confused, and I'm sure a lot of people in the audience may be confused as well, that 5 great organizations, same cause. Which one should I donate my time, hope, money to? How do I choose? Do I choose them all? Do I choose one? Give me some thinking points. So 30 seconds each. Let's start with Chris.
Not a fair question, because really all the organizations are great and worthy of your support. And so the important thing that Ketan is saying is make a contribution, whatever that is. Whatever is important to you. My perspective in 30 seconds, find the thing that's most important to your heart. What are the priorities, the values that you have that you want to express in your giving? Because really all of these organizations do need that capital and those donations to be able to impact people in poverty. Care about it, share it with your friends, and do it in a way that's meaningful to you. Get engaged, get to know whichever that organization is, find out those points that are, make it come alive for you, so that it's not just a one-time thing, but it becomes part of your life over and over again. I see kids here where you go and say, I want to transfer this caring for people in poverty to my children. All of that, which organization matches your heart and who you are.
Thank you.
I could add that by going online. Of course, all of us have our websites and have information, but there are also general information sources on microfinance. In the World Bank, there's a special organization called CGAP, which follows microfinance. There's another organization called the MIX, which rates organizations around the world and rates organizations like ours. So there are a lot of good sources out there, and I'm sure we'd all be happy to let you know where you can find more information.
Thank you. Dave?
Great. So Unitas focuses on innovative solutions to solving poverty. I understand there's this concept at Microsoft of a leadership gift, and the leadership gift's $1,000, I understand. We have a multiplier effect of 20, so that would multiply into $20,000, which would multiply into 200 families that could have a starting loan of $100. Which means not only is it 200 families, it's 1,000 people, because each family is on average 5 people. So money can really be multiplied in microfinance when you're working with organizations that are efficient and effective at leveraging your money. So,
Sure.
Well, if you actually want to meet people who are, I've got an advantage here because we're Washington State. So we're actually looking for volunteers. You know, we'd love to have donations, and as much, we'd love to have people who are interested in coming in and being coaches in our training classes and mentors and teaching workshops. So, you know, if you have an interest in actually working face-to-face with people who are involved in micro-enterprise and micro-credit, please come and join us at Washington Cash. We'd love to have you.
Peter?
You can't go wrong with any organization sitting up here. So if you're thinking about donating money, just multiply that by 5 and give it to an organization. That's the easiest way to do it. Seriously, I think the most important thing is to just get involved. And donating money is one of those aspects, but there's plenty of volunteer opportunities, and all of the organizations up here have those opportunities. We have them if you're interested in technology angles in various ways. We do more than the stuff I mentioned that we didn't like. We do a lot of other stuff too. So. And we do have Microsoft people volunteering with us. So just get involved. That's the most important thing. I work with all of this organization up here, and they're all great organizations. And you should just go out and check out the material, the websites, and just go 5 times whatever you were thinking. You'll be fine.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I think I want to say that we wish that things were different. But visual thinking is not only helpful here, but it's dangerous. And it is up to us. I want to end it by that. I do see several hands. Please feel free to ask the questions. I think the panelists are here, and I'll be here as well, so we can continue the forum. But for those who have any other commitments, please, by all means, do feel free to leave. Thank you so much for coming. Please do join the I Hate Poverty campaign or any other campaign against poverty at Microsoft. Feel free to approach one of us with I Hate Poverty t-shirts, or just email, reply back to the calendar invite, and we'll be happy to connect you with any of the organizations. This event was organized by the Unitas volunteers at Microsoft, but is in no way exclusive Unitas event. This is an annual event which we say is intended to pop ideas to solve poverty globally. So thank you so much for your continued support. And what's the next question?
My question is for Dave, and you mentioned about there's a gap in the supply and demand. So over the past 5 years, since investment capital is flowing in, how much is the growth rate and generally the supply of money coming into microfinance? And what are the key problems that you see with more investment capital flowing in?